Hi YouTube, Timothy Arkett here. In this video, I'm going to find the zeros of this polynomial. It's f of x equals x cubed minus 5x squared minus 18x plus 72. So first off, we're going to find the factors of 72, and we're going to divide them by the factors of 1 because the number in front of x cubed is 1. So if you want to learn more about this, investigate the rational root theorem. Okay, so we're going to do is find the factors of 72. So I could do 1 times 72. I could do 2 times 36. And we're going to consider positive and negative factors for this. I could do 3 times 24. I could do 4 times 18. I could do 6 times 12. And I could do 8 times 9. Okay, so what we really want to do is we want to start with these easier numbers here, or at least I do, and we'll do the negative and the positive. And so what we would do is we'd start with negative 1 cubed. And the reason why I'm doing this, and I just listed out the factors of 72 here, is because when you divide by 1, you get the same number. If this were 2, then you'd also have to consider like 1/2, 3/2, because you'd be dividing by 2, 6/2, 8/2. You wouldn't have to consider those, but 9/2, yes. So you'd have to consider some other additional potential zeros. Okay, so we've got negative 1 cubed minus 5 times negative 1 squared minus 18 times negative 1. Plus 72. And we're looking for, when we put one of these numbers in, we get 0. So negative 1 cubed is negative 1. Okay. Negative 1 squared is 1 times negative 5 is minus 5 here. We have negative times negative, so plus 18 plus 72. So this is not getting me anywhere near 0. So I'm just going to move on to the next number. And the next one I would do would be 1. So I'd do 1 cubed minus 5 times 1 squared minus 18 times 1 plus 72. And really, when I think about this, we have a negative 18 here, or minus 18 plus 72, so that gets me down to like, what, 54? And then I have minus 5 here, but that's not going to get me close either. So I'm just going to move to the next number. I'm going to move to negative 2. So if I did negative 2 cubed minus 5 times negative 2 squared minus 18 times negative 2 plus 72. Okay, so negative times negative, that's going to be plus 36 plus 72. That puts me over 100. That means this one's going to be 4. I have negative 20 here. Negative 2 squared is 4. And then negative 8 here, so negative 28. That's not getting me where I need to go. So far, that's not worked. Let's move to positive 2. So do 2 cubed minus 5 times 2 squared. And this can be, take you some time to do this to find the right one. Minus 18 times 2 plus 72. So 2 cubed is 8. 2 squared is 4, so minus 5 times 4 is 20. Minus 20 minus 36 plus 72. So 8 plus 72 is 80. We're minusing 56. So we're not getting to 0 with that either. Let's go to negative 3. And I think it's good to illustrate that you don't necessarily find the 0 right away on these types of problems. So 5 times negative 3 squared minus 18 times negative 3 plus 72. Okay, so negative 3 cubed is negative 27. Negative 3 squared is 9, so times negative 5 is minus 45. But then we got a negative and a negative, so that yields a positive. So it's going to be 54 plus 72. So again, we're not close. But let's try 3. So again, this is well over 100. This is not going to bring us down to 0. So let's try 3. So we're going to do 3 cubed minus 5 times 3 squared minus 18 times 3 plus 72. So 3 cubed is 27. 3 squared is 9 times 5 is minus 45. Negative 18 times 3 minus 54. And then plus 72. Now, 27 plus 72 is 99. Minus 45 minus another 54 is minus 99. So, boom, we've got this whole thing equal to 0, which is what we want. So we know x equals 3 is one of the zeros of the polynomial. Okay, so I'm going to erase some stuff and we'll make some room to move on to the next step of this problem. So I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so now that we know that x equals 3 is a 0, we also know that x minus 3 is a factor. Why is that? Well, if we set each factor to 0, if we set x minus 3 equal to 0, we solve for x, we get x equals 3. Okay, so we're going to divide x cubed minus 5x squared minus 18x plus 72 by x minus 3. So we want to think, what do I multiply x to get x cubed? And that's going to be x squared. So x squared times x is x cubed. X squared times negative 3 is minus 3x squared. Okay, we're going to subtract that off. The x cubes cancel. Negative 5x squared minus 3x squared is a negative 2x squared. I'm going to bring this stuff down. So minus 18x plus 72. So now we think, what do I multiply x by to get negative 2x squared? Well, that's going to be a negative 2x. Negative 2x times x is negative 2x squared. Negative 2x times negative 3 is plus 6x. Okay, and we're going to subtract that off. And we have negative 18 minus a positive 6. The negative 2x squareds cancel out. So we get negative, fix that, we get negative 24x. And then bring down the plus 72. Okay, then we're going to multiply x by negative 24. And we're going to get negative 24x here. And then negative 24 times negative 3 is plus 72. And if I subtract this off, I've got a remainder of 0, which we should be getting. So now we want to factor x squared minus 2x minus 24. And I'm looking for numbers that multiply to negative 24 but add to negative 2. So I'm going to pick positive 4 and negative 6. And so this part factored would be x plus 4 times x minus 6. If we want all of f of x in factored form, I could stack on the x minus 3 at the end. So f of x would equal this, right? But I already know that x minus 3 is one of the zeros, so I'm going to set this factor and this factor equal to 0 to solve for the other two. So I'm going to say x plus 4 equals 0, and x minus 6 equals 0. Here I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides, and I'd get x equals negative 4 as another 0. Here I would add 6 to both sides, and I would get x equals 6 as my other 0. So to recap, the three zeros are x equals 3, x equals negative 4, and x equals 6. And if you want to double check this, you can put the original function into Desmos and it will cross the x-axis in those spots. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please give a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye.